Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And we're in our handmade Christmas ideas series of projects and little gift ideas. And today we're going to make this very sweet, cute little box. And it's a triangular box and it is very, very simple to do. I've done this one in non-Christmas colours and just sort of decorated it up, but you can decorate it however you want. But it's a very simple, easy close box, makes a lovely little either stocking filler, little gift for somebody, put them in boxes by the door, put them under the tree. You can have them on the table as sort of little favours instead of crackers and things. So we're going to make it, and it is very, very simple. I've just filled these with some chocolates. You can fill them with whatever you want. So we need to have a piece of 6x6 patterned paper. And I'm using, as you know, I'm using throughout this series 1 pack of 6x6 because I wanted to show that you can make so many things out of just 1 pack. And this is the classic Christmas, which is 6x6, and you have 3 different colours. So we've done quite a lot with the reds and the greens, and now we're going to do some with the beige colour, which is Sahara sand. So I've chosen this one, which has got all the little sprigs. And first of all, we need to cut it down. So let's get our paper trimmer. And we need to cut it down so that it is 6 inches by 4 inches. So we know that it is 6 inches already. So let me get my trimmer the right way around. So we are going to cut it down to 4 inches. So we'll just take it onto the 4-inch side and cut it down to 4 inches. It means that you have a nice strip over, which I'm sure we will do something with later on. So you need a piece that is 6 inches by 4 inches. And then we're going to take our scoreboard. So let's get our scoreboard out. And let's make sure that it is where you can see it. Put it there. There we go. Okay, so we're going to put this down on the 6-inch side, and very simply we're just going to score it straight in half at 3 inches. So straight down the middle at 3 inches. Okay, then we're going to rotate it round, and we are just going to make a little tick mark in on the 2 inches. So just a little mark that you can see on the 2 inches. Turn it round and just a little mark on the 2 inches. And that's all that we need to do. We need to keep our scoring tool out because we are then going to, with a ruler, we can just fold it in half so that we can see where that line is. So it comes through on the center like that. And then we're going to take, I use a metal ruler because I find that easier, but you can use any ruler that you want that's got quite a good strong edge. And you are going to take where the point is here on this halfway piece and line it up with that little tick mark that you've made. So just put your point of your scorer in where the line is, and again in on that line, and we are just going to make a score line down on there. Okay, and then we're going to turn it round to the other side, and again taking where that tick mark is, lining it up, and then making sure that you've got it where the tick mark, where the half-inch part is, and we're just going to score down in on there. Then we are going to do exactly the same on the other side. So taking it from that little point, and again that's why I always put my ruler in on the point, and then slide it up, and then put my ruler on and put my pokey tool to that point. It then allows you to get a quite accurate point to come down. Okay, and then turn it round to the other side. So again, we've got that center part, put our ruler up against it, and then take it down to where that other part is. Make sure that we've got it absolutely to the point, and we're going to score down as well. And then that's it. So it's very simple and easy to do. We are then going to where that point is, we are just going to fold it across, and then we're going to take it on the other side where that score mark is. We're just going to fold it across, and then on this side exactly the same. And just, I find if I just do it with my fingers first, it then gives that the mark that I want very easily straight down like that. Okay, then I'm going to get my bone folder, which is, where have I put my bone folder? Here it is, just in front of me. Now I'm going to get my bone folder, and I'm going to reinforce those score lines. So one down there, one down there, one down on that one, and then one down on this one, and then the one in half as well. So we've got that nicely reinforced. And then quite simply, if you put the pieces together, you will find that this will come to that point, and this one will come to, hold on, let's do it that way around, will come to that point. Now you want your pieces, so your flaps, you want them going the same direction, because it's then easier to work with. Now you can see there's a gap in there, but as we tighten it, it will actually close completely. So we then need to make a little hole that runs through. Now, depending what sort of hole punch you've got will depend whether you can get it inside or not. So what I tend to do is, if I lift my edges of those apart, I've got that so that it runs parallel. This piece has got to run parallel with that line, so it's nice and neat. And then I'm just going to take, so let's make sure that that's running where I want it. You can take a little pokey tool and make the hole if you want to, but I'm going to do it with, and I'm going to do it with the smaller one on the crocodile. So I've got that exactly where I want it lined up there. I'm just going to take my, whoops, crocodile in. Get it in where I want it first, into that little hole. Is it going to go up in there? No, I don't think it's going to quite fit. So what we need to do is we need to take a pokey tool. So the take your pick tool is fantastic because it's got a nice little point on there, and we'll take it up to where we want it, in on there, and we're going to then make a little hole through where we want it to go. So it's sometimes easier to try and put something in so that we can get it in on here. My fingers aren't very good at doing this, but making sure that that edge is where we want it. Yes, hold it that way round, and then just make a little hole in the center. And if you just sort of turn it round, because it's designer series paper, it will go through relatively easily. So we've got a little hole on that side and on that side, and then we'll take the other one and make sure that we've got that coming over to this side. So we want this one in first, that one over to that side. So we can open the other side up and just fold it back so we can get our fingers in. make sure that that is lined up where we want it on here, and then we're going to put another little hole just in the center like that, and you can feel it when it goes through. Just make sure that you've got your fingers out of the way and that you don't poke yourself in on the fingers. Okay, so we've now got 4 little holes in on the side, and then it's easier to put your hole punch in. And the easiest way to do this, I want it on the smaller hole. The easiest way to do it is to just line up the center of your little hole that you've made with your tool, and then you can just poke that little hole through. So we'll take the next one, just take it right into that center, and take that one, take it into this one, and it is just the simplest little, let's take my holes out so I can see, simplest little box, but it's so pretty, like that. And then we'll take this one and my little hole out so I can see it in through the center on the top of this one, and take that one out. Okay, so now we have, take those little pieces out of the way, we've now got our 4 holes in there. So then all we need to do is, again, we're going to make sure that we fold it in exactly the same way. So we've got this one running here, and we've got this one, so that comes that way. So we want all of the pieces to fold in on the same way. And then we just need to take a little bit of ribbon, and I'm going to use, what am I going to use? Twine is an easy thing to do. Ribbon is a little bit more fiddly, but let's see if we can do it with the ribbon. Now, I've turned around and said about this lovely mesh ribbon, and it's called metallic mesh ribbon, and it's just lovely because it's got this pretty color on it. So we need to have it so that it's going to be, to come through and enough to sort of tie a bow. So I'm going to be a little bit more generous than normal because I want to tie quite a nice bow. So I'm actually going to take, what am I taking, 15 inches, and I'm going to cut it in half like that. And then, because I don't want it to be too thick going through, I'm just going to cut it straight down the middle. It allows it to go further, but it also means that it's not as much bulk to try and get through the little holes. So if we just cut this in half, and you don't have to be 100% accurate on it because it's mesh, it will just sort of fold down quite easily. So we're just going to take it right the way down. I'm using larger scissors because it's easier to take it and to get a little bit more out of there. Okay, so we can use that for something else. And then I'm just sort of making sure that this little piece here, if I sort of fold it round a bit, it should go through the pieces that we want. Okay, so we're going to take it through one, and hopefully I will get it through. This is where I find out that I can't, and I might need a pokey tool, but I think I should be all right. Okay, so that's through one, out through the other. The good thing is you don't need any glue with this, so it's literally, it's just held together by the ribbon. So that's coming there. We want it in this one. Like this, and I'm going inside and out each time. Just need to twizzle this round a little bit to get it through that hole. And then we'll get the last one through on here, and then we'll have to wriggle it through. Okay, so that's through like that. So we've got these pieces that we want to go, that's that way, that's that way. I want this one, we need to do it the other way round, don't we? Let me take this piece out. So that's going to come that way, so I need this one to go inside first, so in that way. And then the other piece, I'm just going to move this ribbon through a bit so I've got it where I want it, and then the other piece in here. So just as you fold it, just make sure that you've got it in on the right bit. So that's going to come in that way, that's going to come in that way. So the last bit does need to come in through on there. Like that. Okay, now I'm just going to move this so that I've got it centered. And if you use twine, it's easier to move it, but we're just going to use the ribbon, and I think it will work quite nicely. So let's just take this ribbon so that it goes in like this. Oops, take that piece in on here like that. Okay, so we've got this piece that goes that way. Oh, struggling getting this ribbon. It's probably not the easiest of ribbon to use, but we'll struggle on, I think. Take that one up that way. Okay. And then all you're going to do is you're going to tie it in like this. I will fill it with some little sweets, but I'm just going to have it as an empty one this time. So you tie it so that it, whoops, you can see how it sort of closes, so you need to just tie it so that it gets it, so that it's nice and closed, and then we can just put a little bow on it. So this is probably not the easiest of ribbon to use, although it's quite pretty, but you can see that you can use any type of ribbon that you want. So let's just, whoops, open this up. Ribbons on camera are always a difficult thing to do, aren't they? So let's get that. Is that tail on that one? There we go. So we've got our little ribbon like that, and I've got that piece sort of hanging down there. Now I can take it off, got some little silver bits on there, and then it's about decorating it. So I'm going to have to cut that piece off, aren't I? There we go. Okay, so you've got the pretty ribbon coming at the back, and then it's about decorating it. So I'm going to use just a simple Merry Christmas statement at the bottom, and that will just fit right in down there. And then I've cut some of the dies, the beautiful bells from the Cherish the Season and Sounds of the Season, which are so pretty. I do like these little bells. They're just absolutely lovely. So let's just put one of these on, and I tend to make quite a few sentiments in one go, and then have a little pot that I can just pick them out of. It saves an awful lot of time, and it's probably one of my top tips. You know, make a whole pile of sentiments and then use them as you need them. So this is going to come right down at the bottom, and it should just fit perfectly like that. So that's our Merry Christmas bit on there. And then I'm just going to take some dimensionals for these ones. Take the little inside pieces out. And I love these because you can see that you've got the lovely embossing of the leaves on there as well. So it's just such a pretty thing, and I think bells at Christmas time are always lovely. So we'll just put just a little dimensional in on the center of the two of them, and then we can put one just in like that, and we can put the other one in on that side, so it just tucks in underneath. I'm going to try and get the two pieces of the bell in together like that, and there you have a very sweet, beautiful little triangular box. As I say, the other one I did in non-Christmas colours, and this is from the Brights collection. It's last year's paper, but we do all of the papers in Brights and Subtles, all of the colour families, so that if you wanted to do sort of non-Christmas on the Christmas table, you could, or if you wanted to do something which is more sort of classical Christmas. And I really love this Sahara sand. I think it's absolutely beautiful, but a very simple, very easy little Christmas idea for you. So thank you so much as always. I just wanted to give a big thank you for all the lovely comments so far. I'm so pleased that everybody's enjoying this series, and as always, particularly at this moment in time when so many of us are in lockdown, please stay safe and stay well and be kind. Bye bye.